All right, well, we're not going to be doing any applicating today because we got an inch and a quarter of rain last night, and it's rained on and off this morning. I'm guessing we got at least another 1/10, but it's probably not a wise idea to try to do any field work. But these beans, well, this field and the one I sprayed after it at least have got some herbicide injury going with them, which kind of, when you're spraying in the heat we've had, is a chance you take. I mean, they're not dead, they're far from dying. They'll grow out of it. It's just a matter of, it's the field right behind Mom and Dad's house, so you got to look at it every damn day. They'll probably green back up in about a week. They're not even crunchy, they're just, but there's a couple possibilities. Either A, that residue nasty shit that's been left over in the sprayer that I've been fighting has just enough potency left, although I highly doubt that it would be that and get this broad of coverage over the entire field. You'd think it would dissipate as time goes on, and it really didn't. So I highly doubt it has anything to do with a residual from spraying corn. But I was talking to a buddy about it yesterday who's an agronomist for a company down in central Indiana, and I guess he has been seeing and hearing about, because I use Roundup Power Max 3, which has its own surfactant mixed in with it. He has been hearing, because of the heat stress we've had, about Roundup damage in beans due to the surfactant, which is most likely what this is. And it's just the upper leaves. You get into the lower canopy, there's nothing going on. I mean, it's not moving, it's literally just the upper leaves that got some stuff and probably got sun. It's a risk you take when we're dealing with heat that's like it was. But the beans needed sprayed. It's not like he could have waited. They needed sprayed. So, and the way corn and beans are interesting in the fact that they kind of flip. Coming out of the ground, like if you got a crust or something, corn is a tough son of a bitch. Corn will basically grow through concrete because all it's got to do is push that little spike up through the ground, and corn will come out of damn near anything. Beans, trying to get beans out of the ground, especially if you got a little bit of a crust, forget it. Once everything's out of the ground though, it's like they say reverse roles. Corn, once it gets to about V3, V4, starts using nitrogen, you gotta baby it. You have to hold its hand the rest of the season, basically, at least until it gets to right before tassel. Once it gets to tassel, then you're pretty much done. Beans, on the other hand, once they're up out of the ground, they are the toughest damn thing. You could just, within reason, you could beat the dog shit out of beans and not kill them. And half the time, they'll end up just by sheer luck, they'll end up out yielding the stuff that didn't get burnt. But, so I'm not worried about it. It's just a matter of fact that I have to look at it, and when you got to look at it every day for a while, that just makes you kind of sick to your stomach. But you can also see I had a tip plugged on the sprayer because green strip. So I just knowing the issues that I've been having with the sprayer because of that shit that's in the tank that I just can't seem to get out of it. I bought a spray boom for my four-wheeler to go with my I got a spot sprayer for it, but it didn't have a boom, so I bought a boom for it. That way I'm only spreading, it's a 7-foot boom. That way I'm not spraying or wasting a 10-foot boom. Like, what's the center section on my sprayer is 10 feet, so don't need 10 feet of sprayer to go clean up some spots. So when it comes time to have to go back and clean up or fix all these skips and shit from this sprayer problem, I'll just use my four-wheeler and a tank and a spot sprayer and that spray broom so that I'm not wasting as much chemical. It'll just make life easier. So, but that field's got some herbicide injury. The one that I sprayed afterwards has a herbicide injury. And I haven't checked, well, everything else I sprayed. I haven't checked Indiana or this field down here yet. But anyhow, I gotta, now that we're 5 minutes into this, I haven't done anything. There's some stuff I gotta do today since we're rained out. First thing is I forgot I wanted to replace this wooden tension block with a pulley, mostly because the wood is shot. And am I gonna have to need a couple more washers to space that thing out where it belongs. Okay, that's a lot better than that rotten old wood block. Now the big thing I gotta do is I have to make some lock pins for these wings. When this was set up for a cultivator, I doubt you needed to run them because the row units were heavy enough to hold the wing down, and the row units floated on their own independently of the wing anyhow. But actually, no, wait, you know what would be easier than that? Except that I'd have to carry a couple wrenches with me, but it would be a heck of a lot easier than having to, at least for right now, having to make a pin. I can just throw a bolt in them holes. I thought they had stop bolts in the front and back, but they don't. They got that hole's open. How long of a bolt would I need? Hmm, 2 inch. I'd say get like a top link pin, like I think 5/8 might be like a Cat 1 top link pin or something like that. But it'd be too long and the wing would still, and I want to hold the wings rigid, that way it holds the coulters in the ground. Because my initial thought was I was going to make pins to go in here, but you'd have to make them in such a way that you'd have to have an offset square on one side to put through that would bump up against this plate to keep the pin from turning, and then you'd have to have a hole drilled straight up and down for your R pin. That way the pin can't turn and knock the R pin out. That would be the quick way to do it, or that would make folding and unfolding quicker, is what I meant to say. Because if I did that, how long would they need to be? Yeah, I made them. I made them 2 inches. Yeah, I'll go see what we got for stock, because it wouldn't take long to turn pin or to make pins up real quick. So we'll see what we got for material. All right, we got some stock, so I'll just make up some pins real quick. It won't take 20 minutes to do them both, so, and that'll make it where I don't got to carry tools around when I, holy shit. I bet that was an expensive little chunk. Anyway, this will keep me from having to carry around a set of wrenches every time I want to fold and unfold, so. Alright, I got my pins done. There was people kept showing up and I just wanted to get them knocked out, so I just got them knocked out. But this isn't the part of the video that anybody's going to want to show up to see anyhow. That's what we're going to work on next. So anyhow, hopefully they should fit. Guess we'll find out here in a second, although I can only get a pin in this one because the one on the far side, the wing tipped up a little bit and the hole doesn't line up. So, if we go and we slide that guy in there like so, and it's got the square on it, it can't turn, and then we can slide this guy up there like that. Perfect. Can't turn, so the cotter pin can't get bent, or not cotter pin, our pin can't get bent or knocked out or anything stupid. It can't rotate or nothing. And that one's just that much little bit off, so we can just put this in that hole for storage, I guess. And then it'll just ride the wing when you go to unfold it, so that works out pretty good. So with that and that pulley, this thing should be ready to rock and roll, I hope. I really hope. So now we're gonna move on to our next project. All right, so here's the I guess you want to call it big project for the day. Hopefully it's not a big project, but I want to get at least get the 525 running today, because it hasn't been started. It's been started once since I parked it here in the barn. I went to start it, can't remember how long ago it's been. It was just a random day. I walked in here and decided I'd fire up the combine, just warm the batteries up, and it decided it didn't want to start because the battery was dead. So I went and got a brand new battery for it, which the one that was in it was from 2013, so 10 years out of it, because it started, the last time it would have started would have been, pretty sure I started it in 2022, 2023, either way, 9-10 years out of a battery this day and age, nothing to complain about, I'll tell you it. So I got that, I got some 1040 to change the oil, my ATV spray boom that I got, that I got to get put on this week, and some 1540 just to have around. So I got to go get a bucket and something. I don't have a stool. Normally I use a stool to set whatever I use to put my oil bucket on. Bear with me. Yeah, I gotta go get me an oil drain bucket and something to set it on. Where's my hose? Or no, wait a minute. If I remember right, I put a longer hose on this thing when I... Okay, hold on a second. My hose appears to be stuck on something. Okay, I did put a longer hose on it, but I still apparently only made it come down to here. Okay, well, I thought I felt it move, but apparently not. Oh, well, I guess I did, just not very much. Okay, let that drain, and I can put the battery back in it and get the filter swapped out. Yeah. Okay, the battery goes back here in this hole. The new one's got a handle, the old one didn't. That makes life a little nicer. In my opinion, every battery needs to come with a handle like that. It would just be dandy. And if this was an open station 525, you see these little clips here, there'd be a fancy dancy cover that went over this. But since this, and maybe on a cab one it's supposed to be there too, although there's no witness mark in the paint like it ever had one on it. But since this is a cab machine, there's just a panel that bolts here to the back of the cab. They definitely made a big upgrade when they put on the 7300s. They took the battery and moved it out onto the platform on the side. Made ease of access a whole lot better. Okay, I got the rear panel of the cab back in, and I gotta go grab a flathead screwdriver so I can take the air stack off, because it makes getting to the engine easier with that out of the way. So while I'm doing that, I'm gonna blow the air cleaner out. Okay, so we got this has got a canister filter, so we can pull the top off of that guy. 5/8 now. Probably, as long as this thing's been sitting on top running, there's probably not even any oil in this thing. You're sitting here right now. It's got an anti-drain back valve, but those don't normally hold the oil for multiple years, normally just a few days. And there's a little bit of oil in there, but not much. Will that fit? It will fit. So what we're gonna do first is drain a little bit of oil out of it that's in there, and then I can put that filter in my cup so we don't drip oil everywhere. Doing maintenance on this thing isn't as terrible as one would think with the engine here. I mean, there's certainly, the best option is to put the engine off the back of the combine like is standard now, and like what a lot of manufacturers did in the 50s and 60s, which Oliver had them back there until the cockshut designs came out, and then they went to this. So, in all honesty, it was kind of a step backwards. Which there were actually several things that Oliver had on their combines that were lost when the Brantford machines came out. Not that these are bad machines, they're still good combines, but there were several things that got lost in translation between shutting down Battle Creek and transferring to Brantford. As a for instance, Oliver had been experimenting with a hydrostatic version of the Model 25 combine. It wasn't ready for production. They were experimenting on the 25 to have the system ready for their next series that was supposed to be released before the Brantford machines came out. They had variable speed cylinder drives, some other like small things that were more in tune with where the market was, and then the Brantford machines came out. Like I say, I'm not trying to put down the Brantford machines. They're still good combines, but they were built more towards the these machines were built more toward, or more on the Great Plains wheat growing needs, not the Midwest South multiple crops with one machine, quick changeovers, that kind of mentality. I'm gonna have to get something else to put these rags in because I'm out of storage space and I don't want to put oily crap everywhere. Okay. Drain plug's back in it because it finished. So, I normally try to pre-fill. Usually I've got quarts, not gallons for this. What we can do here, nope. good enough. Spilled a little bit down here on the old starter. It's getting kind of muggy out. It was nice out before the sun came out. Now the sun came out, it's not so nice out anymore. Okay. I'm gonna go grab a funnel so I can finish filling the crankcase. And then she should be good to try to fire up. Alright, engine oil's topped off, coolant's topped off, hydraulic oil's topped off. Sticky. Throw some WD-40 on that. So, this does have a throttle pump in it, although the carb is probably dry. Come on, darling. You know you want to. I know it's been a while. Well, I can kind of smell gas, so I think she's getting fuel. Which means we're probably not getting any arky sparky, so let me look and see what if the points have any fuzzies on them. Well, it is safe to say, if I can get the camera pointed in the right spot, we got plenty of strong spark, so that's good. Okay, try again. Oh. That's my girl. Trying to make sure it's charging. Like I shut her off yesterday. miss that cackle. Sounds really good with a straight pipe on it, but straight pipes on the combine, we had to run it part of a season because the muffler blew out, so we just made a, I think I still got it over at Mom and Dad, just a straight piece that connects the elbow with the curve pipe. It sounds really good then. Oh, that makes me so happy. I love this little combine. It'll be a cold day in hell before this one ever leaves. I'll either be dead or something before this machine ever leaves this farm. She's my baby. Oh, apparently we found a mouse. You gonna get it? Where's it at? Stick from sitting one time on this, and that was no fun. Oh, I miss that sound. Good deal. Well, I think I'm gonna let her just sit here for a while and limber up, and I guess next chance I get we can do a little digging and get her out of the barn. That's why I didn't bother putting the planter back over where it belongs. I'm trying to think of a better way to do this. I'm almost wondering if I'd be better off, and it's unfortunately one of them things that you don't know if it'll work until you move all the shit and try it. But I'm wondering if I'd be better off to put the 525 here, get the planter and the drill out of the way, and put the 7300 here, and then the 540 can just go back in the corner against the wall, and then the drill, and then the 6180. And then that way, if I want to get combines out, I don't have to move all the planters and everything, because they'll be on their side of the shed and the combines will be on their side of the shed. Or my other thought was, same thing, 525 there, 7300 here, take the corn picker and move it back in that corner. I don't know, like I say, it's one of them things that unfortunately you don't know how well it's going to work until you move the equipment and do it. So maybe one of these rain days we'll have to have an equipment shuffling party and see if there's a better way to arrange this barn. because you're wasting, there's a lot of wasted space parking the combines like this, because you know, you got, I mean, shit can be packed a little closer together and still be functional. I guess the big thing is I need to measure how wide this thing is folded up, to know how far it'd hang over in the door, to know if you could still get the 8700 backed in the door if this thing was here. But anyhow, get my tools cleaned up and let her sit here and cackle away for a little bit. And then I was contemplating, do I get the T and pull the duals and everything off of it, because those can come off. That way, if I do end up, like if I get the 1800 stuck or something and we need to use it, we can use it. Because it's not dead, it just, I don't want to use it for long, prolonged periods of time. But I also need to mow the yard. Something fierce. So I guess I gotta make that decision too. And then the other thing I thought about on this, since I really don't plan on cutting beans with it anymore, is I kind of want to take the chopper off and put the original side skirts back on the back so that everything matches. And then I can pull the chopper off with the belt tensioner and put my cover plate back here, and you can just leave the chopper drive and everything. That way, if you want to put the chopper back on, it's just swapping a few parts back out. But that'll put it back to original, minus I wouldn't bother putting the spreader back on. So anyway, I guess that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.